Imagine you're the prime minister of a country. You have a fund, a sovereign wealth fund, set up specifically to develop your nation, to build infrastructure, to lift people out of poverty, to invest in the future. Now imagine you just stole it. All of it. We're talking $4.5 billion. Gone. Laundered through shell companies, Swiss bank accounts, Hollywood films, and a 300-foot super yacht named, and I am not making this up, Equanimity. This is the story of one MDB, and it is one of the most brazen financial crimes in human history. One MDB stands for One Malaysia Development Berhad. It was a government-owned investment fund launched in 2009 by Malaysia's then Prime Minister, Najib Razak. The pitch was simple: raise money through bonds, invest it wisely, and use the returns to develop Malaysia's economy. Ports, power plants, real estate, nation building. All very noble. The reality? From almost the very first day, one MDB was being used as a personal piggy bank. And the man with the key? A fast-talking, incredibly well-connected Malaysian financier named Low Tech Jho, better known as Jho Low. Jho Low was not a government official. He held no formal position at 1MDB whatsoever. But he had befriended Najib's stepson at university, worked his way into the inner circle, and essentially positioned himself as the fund's unofficial and invisible architect. He was 27 years old. Here's how the scam worked, and pay attention, because it's genuinely impressive in a deeply criminal kind of way. One MDB would raise billions through bond sales. That money was supposed to go into legitimate investments. Instead, it was routed through a web of shell companies in the British Virgin Islands, the Cayman Islands, Singapore, and Switzerland. Each transfer made the money harder to trace. Each shell company added another layer of fake legitimacy. And at the end of that pipeline, Jho Low and his associates were waiting. We're talking about $700 million that landed directly in Najib Razak's personal bank account. The prime minister of a country had stolen money sitting in his personal account. And what did they spend it on? A $250 million super yacht, a private jet, hundreds of millions in real estate across New York, Los Angeles, and London. Over $200 million in artwork, including a Monet and a Basquiat. Designer jewelry, gambling chips in Las Vegas, and, this is the part that still gets me, $1.3 billion that flowed into a Hollywood production company and helped fund films like The Wolf of Wall Street. Yes, they laundered stolen money through a movie about laundering stolen money. Jho Low wasn't hiding. He was celebrating. He was throwing parties in Las Vegas and Cannes that cost millions per night. He flew in celebrities, paying them six figures just to show up. He reportedly spent $2 million in a single night at a Vegas nightclub. Meanwhile, back in Malaysia, ordinary people were paying more for fuel and groceries as the government slashed subsidies, partly to cover the holes one MDB was quietly leaving in the national budget. The audacity, the sheer breathtaking audacity of it. And for years, nobody was stopped. Nobody was charged. Najib's government controlled the press, dismissed investigative journalists, and sacked the attorney general who started asking too many questions. The crack appeared in 2015. The Wall Street Journal published an explosive investigation showing that $700 million from one MDB had flowed directly into Najib's personal accounts. Najib called it a smear campaign. His allies attacked the journalists. The Malaysian government launched investigations into the journalists. But the U.S. Department of Justice was already watching. In 2016, the DOJ filed what it called the largest kleptocracy case in American history. They moved to seize over $1 billion in assets. The yacht, the artwork, the real estate, all of it. The walls were closing in. Then came May 2018. In a stunning election result, Najib Razak lost power. For the first time in 61 years, Malaysia's ruling coalition was voted out. Within weeks, Najib was banned from leaving the country. Police raided his properties and found, I want you to really picture this, 284 boxes of designer handbags, hundreds of pieces of jewelry, and over $28 million in cash, stuffed in bags and boxes around his home. In 2020, Najib Razak was found guilty on all 7 charges against him: abuse of power, criminal breach of trust, money laundering. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison. He appealed, lost. He is currently serving his sentence. Jho Low? Still a fugitive. He has not been arrested or extradited. He is believed to be living somewhere under Chinese government protection, having made himself very difficult to reach. Goldman Sachs, who helped one MDB raise billions and collected nearly $600 million in fees, paid a $2.9 billion settlement, and their Malaysian subsidiary pleaded guilty to bribery charges. And Malaysia? Still trying to recover the money. Billions have been clawed back. Billions more are still missing. Here's what I keep coming back to with 1MDB. This wasn't some abstract financial crime buried in spreadsheets. This was a sitting government, stealing from hospitals, schools, and infrastructure. So one man could throw parties, and another could buy a yacht he named Equanimity. The word means calmness in the face of difficulty. The irony writes itself. If this story made you angry, good. Share it. Because the best weapon against this kind of theft is people knowing it happened. I'll see you in the next one.